Think of the land down under, you often imagine beautiful beaches, vibrant cities, and a laid-back lifestyle. But behind the facade of sun-kissed smiles and lazing by the pool lies a darker reality. Australia has its fair share of dangerous places where residents face unique challenges that can put their lives at risk. Now, I reviewed several different lists of the most dangerous cities. These are the 10 cities or suburbs that come out the most dangerous. At number 10, the Gold Coast. Australia's party capital and celebrated holiday destination, renowned for its beaches and high-rise skyline, kicks our countdown off. A recent data indicates a notable rise in theft, which has increased by 8% from last year, whereas drug-related crime has stayed fairly similar with close to 1,000 cases. There were 3 homicides on the Gold Coast in 2024 compared to 7 the previous year. Youth crime is a large part of the problem, together with higher than average recidivism rates. Offenders are caught one day, back out on the streets the next, committing the same crimes or worse, which has now led to local community groups hiring private security in some areas. Cars being stolen from driveways, and the latest craze is city buses being attacked by youth throwing rocks and assaulting bus drivers. Coming up next at number 9, Newcastle. The second largest city in New South Wales, Newcastle carries a rich tapestry of history and industrial significance. Known locally simply as Newey, it's home to the world's largest exporting coal port and also where Australia's worst earthquake occurred in 1989 when 13 people were killed and more than 160 were injured. When it comes to crime, Newcastle has seen an increase in theft, malicious damage to property and domestic violence. It has also experienced what's been termed a murder cluster in recent years, with rates 5 times that of the overall state average. Authorities state that none of the deaths appear to be gang-related. The wider Newcastle region has had its share of high-profile cases, with Catherine Knight convicted of murdering her lover in 2000 before cooking his body and attempting to serve it to his children. And the murder of 14-year-old Lily in 1989, which then led to a Police Integrity Commission inquiry and the recommendation of dismissing the detective in charge of the investigation. At number 8, Wollongong. One of my old stomping grounds, nestled on the scenic coast of New South Wales, Wollongong is a mix of surf, sand, and unfortunately, increasing crime rates. Common crimes include harassment, drug dealing, and assaults, and you are now warned against walking around at night in the CBD. So what happened in Wollongong? Theft leads the way, with assault, property damage and drug use also heading up a lengthy list of issues in the Gong. It also has more high-risk domestic violence offenders under surveillance by police than in any other part of New South Wales. Alcohol-related violence is more common in areas such as the Wollongong CBD, Warrawong, Dapto and Unanderra, whilst car theft is more prevalent in Bulli and Corrimal. Slotting into number 7, Toowoomba. Often referred to as the Garden City due to its flower-rich parks and gardens, Toowoomba holds a different distinction when it comes to safety and crime. A deep dive into the city's statistics reveals that while it flourishes with vibrant festivals and natural beauty, issues like theft, break-ins and vandalism have grown over the past year. As with many cities on this list, socio-economic challenges play a significant role in shaping Toowoomba's crime landscape. There were over 1,200 disorderly or offensive conduct charges last year, more than 700 cases of theft, and drug dealing is on the rise too. Now, the big driver in this city has been assault rates, which have doubled from where they were 5 years ago. Toowoomba City is a key hotspot, particularly for youth crime, with car theft, home invasions, armed robberies, and the 2023 murder of 75-year-old Robert Brown outside the Grand Central Shopping Centre by a 17-year-old in a snatch and grab attack. Coming in at number 6, Geelong. Geelong stands out as Victoria's hotspot for crime, reflecting broader national concerns. Domestic violence, theft, assault, and property damage-related crimes are all major issues. There is also a concern for safety when walking at night in what is Victoria's second largest city. Overall crime rates are up 11% year over year, with theft rising 14% and items such as liquor, groceries and clothing being the most common items stolen from retail stores. Geelong saw over 1,800 assault cases last year, with property crimes making up 40% of all reported incidents. Cultivation and manufacturing of drugs was up 93%. Drug dealing and trafficking was up by 23%, and drug use and possession was up by 14%. A read through the recent news headlines for Geelong shows incidents such as random stabbings at shopping centres, police officers being assaulted, and the murder of a 20-year-old man in the CBD's Little Mallop Street. It's time to head to the top end of the country for our number 5 city, Darwin. The capital of the Northern Territory, Darwin is a melting pot of cultures, cuisines and traditions. Its coastal location and historical significance have always been points of pride, but recent years have shed light on a growing problem. Assaults, which rose by 20%, and property-related crime lead the way here. But the city also has a large issue with alcohol-related crimes and break-ins. Sexual assaults have risen by 32% as well. Now, there's a growing consensus that while Darwin's multicultural fabric is its strength, it needs more robust systems in place for crime prevention and rehabilitation.
We're just fed up with it. I mean, I've been here since 1980, never know, it's just got worse over the years. And I don't know what the answer is. Can't blame the government because I don't think they know. If they do something, they're racists. If they don't do something, they're, useless.
The Northern Territory as a whole has incarceration rates more than 5 times the national average, and the age of criminal responsibility has been lowered to 10 years old in an attempt to decrease the out-of-control number of youth crimes. It's back to Queensland we go with number 4 and Cairns. The doorway to Australia's Great Barrier Reef, Cairns is more than just its pristine beaches. Behind its natural beauty lies a pressing concern. Theft increased last year by 9%, with there being over 6,000 incidents reported, together with 5,000 break-and-enters and close to 3,000 assaults. Given the high rate of tourists in the city, electronic card scams are common, and pickpockets have also been known to distract the visitor while their mate takes your wallet or your phone. Looking at the Queensland Policing's Far North page, it shows just how prevalent theft is in the area. Car theft, break-and-enters, and even the theft of somebody's ashes, all in the past couple of weeks alone. Much of this caused by teens, and the city has been named the youth crime capital of Australia. Staying in North Queensland at number 3, Townsville. Basking in the sunlit coast of Queensland, Townsville has long been a popular destination for both tourists and locals alike. Reports from the Australian Bureau of Statistics highlight an increase in incidents of unlawful entry with intent and motor vehicle theft. Factors like economic disparity and limited programs for youth engagement drive the crime rate in Townsville.
4 Aussie juveniles have just ambushed a QAF vehicle with rocks and bottles damaging its windscreen.
In 2023, Townsville experienced changes in crime rates with a decrease in assault by 3%, drugs down by 33%, and theft by 23% as well. That shows that something is working in the city, but it is still recommended that visitors enjoy the beaches and sights during the day and avoid walking alone at night in less populated areas. We move on to the second most dangerous city in Australia, and it's another one in Queensland, Rockhampton. Rockhampton, located along the scenic banks of the Fitzroy River, is a testament to Queensland's architectural and natural allure. Approximately 500 kilometres away from Brisbane's hustle and bustle, it's a city that carries a rich history and an undeniable charm. It's also a city well known for its cattle industry. Behind the picturesque surroundings are some of the highest crime rates in Australia. You have a 16% chance of being a victim of crime here. The primary issues are property crimes like break-ins, thefts, and a burgeoning problem with drug-related offences. Drug abuse, intertwined with socio-economic challenges, has led to an uptick in these crimes. It's a pressing reminder that even in areas known for their scenic beauty and warmth, challenges persist and require attention. Now, good news from 2024 is that assaults dropped by 25%, but drug offences rose by 11%, theft also increased by 21%. So where is the most dangerous city in Australia? It just so happens to be right in the centre of the country and the heart of the outback, Alice Springs. The Alice serves as a gateway for those exploring the Red Centre, Uluru and the barren outback deserts of Australia. It has now grown to become the most dangerous city in Australia and the 18th most dangerous city in the world.
Where a curfew is entering its second night in a bid to tackle rampant youth violence. Many are calling for a federal government response, but the Prime Minister has no current plans to visit the besieged town.
It's gained a reputation for serious crime problems, with many attributing the rise in crime to the lifting of an alcohol ban. The alcohol restrictions in Central Australia were lifted in 2022, and statistics showed a massive 65% increase in alcohol-related assaults and domestic violence. A 46% increase in break-ins and property damage cases also increased by 54%. For a city of only 28,000 people, they had 2,800 assaults and 1,900 domestic assaults. You have a 29% chance of being a victim of property crime, and the crime rate in the Alice is more than double the national average. Residents report random acts of violence, including ambulances being pelted with rocks, frequent shop window breakages, and violent home robberies targeting the elderly. Young children and teenagers roam the streets in gangs. Just recently, a 2-month-old had its skull fractured during a home invasion, and a woman was raped in her own home by another. Crime has also come to the suburbs, and it's not just the town where things are happening now. Locals claim that the government has lost control of the situation, describing the Alice as anarchy. And that contrary to the Territory government's call, it's not just about putting more police on the streets anymore. They claim in order to make any real changes, that the community itself needs to change its culture. So there you have it, the 10 most dangerous cities in Australia. There is certainly a common theme throughout these places, and that's youth crime. It's on the rise in the cities with the largest issues. Link that with the cost of living crisis that Australia is facing, and you can see how economic conditions affect crime levels. The Northern Territory, New South Wales and Queensland experience the highest rate of young offender recidivism rates in the country. And those 3 states make up 9 of the cities in the top 10 that we just spoke about. What do you think is the underlying cause of crime in Australia? Maybe you live in one of these areas and you feel perfectly safe there. Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe, and thanks for watching from down under to down south. Hooroo, mateys.